Hello, good evening, and welcome back to Trials of Imagination, episode 12. We are back. We are excited. We had an off week last week due to some inclement weather that we wanted to try and be safe and just go ahead and take the week off in case any sort of power outages were to happen, and some kind of did. So it ended up being the right call because the stream would have literally cut off. So we are back this week. Everybody hopefully will be here. We're still waiting on one player to arrive, but in the meantime, we'll go through a few announcements. Nothing really major to go over. However, I can showcase one thing. New thing of merch right there. So got the phone case with the merch on it. It's just black. It just has the TOI logo on it. It's nice and shiny. It's purdy. If you want it, it's on the merch store. You do exclamation point merch, and you can get yours as well if you would like. This is the I can't remember what they call it, the protective one, or the whatever the term they use for like the more armored one, and it's 2 layers. It has the rubber part, which is the first layer you put on, and then the plastic piece, which clips onto the back of it from there, and it's nice and shiny on the back. So that is kind of cool. We've already showcased this, but just to show it again, we have our lovely glass as well. Came in, and I think whenever we get the cameras up that SJ is wearing some merch, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll have that going. Nothing crazy to announce in terms of giveaways or anything like that at the moment. We will for sure be doing some more stuff later on in coming episodes very soon, but for right now, just sit back and enjoy the content. If this is your first time here, we are literally a bunch of group of friends that just like to get together and dork out and play Dungeons and Dragons, which if you have never experienced, then just sit back and enjoy, I suppose. But also, if this is your first time here, you may notice as the episode goes on that we do not typically interact with chat verbally a whole lot. This is normal. It is nothing personal to you or anyone that is trying to chat with us. It is that we are on a limited time frame and have to be very conscious and conservative with our time so that we stay in the zone and get everything we would like to accomplish done in the night. But that is not to say we will not interact at all. We will try to interact with you in chat itself. And at the end of the night, we do typically try to interact at least a little bit. But all that aside, so if you do try to interact, just don't take it personally if we don't respond to you. And during the week, this goes up on YouTube as well, which is another reason why we try to implement that, so that it's not overly complicated and weird for the people that can't show up to the streams but would like to watch it later in the week, so they watch it on YouTube, which is on Fridays. So the stream is on Tuesday. If you're watching a VOD, then it was on Tuesday, and then it goes up on YouTube on Fridays. That is honestly all I can think of. We did not have a whole lot to cover this week. Before we move on and go forward, I guess I should ask SJ or any of our other crew, are there any announcements that I missed that we need to cover before we move forward? The deafening silence says no. Okay, so
I said no.
Your mic didn't catch it then. It was just silence. That's all I got.
I'll move closer. Is that better?
Yeah, I can hear you now. So, yeah, I got nothing. So, yeah. So, without further ado, we're gonna hit the intro video and jump into tonight's episode of Trials of Imagination, specifically the Curse of Strahd campaign. So sit back and enjoy. and welcome back. We are getting things sorted at the moment, so while I do the recap, we'll try and sort all of that out, hopefully. But last week, or technically 2 weeks ago, on Trials of Imagination, our adventurers followed Ismark and continued along the path towards his home, having some conversations along the way, a variety of different things, and encountered a creature as they were making their way to Ismark's home that quickly attempted to chase them. So they played a lovely game of telephone in the midst of D&D, and that went great. But at least everyone got the notion to run, so it ultimately worked out, and everyone quickly ran towards Ismark's home. Little hiccups here and there, but at the end of the day, everybody made it safely into the home without any sort of injuries, and no one was harmed. The crew then had a little bit of fun, I suppose, if we want to consider it that, where a challenge was presented that, hey, if you can manage to scare Ismark's sister, he'll offer you a free drink. So our lovely dwarf did not hesitate to immediately step up to the challenge of that one and went to do that, but instead found himself getting punched in the face rather hard, and then having a little bit of a skirmish before tensions eventually kind of worked itself out and everything. Both parties realized what was happening and everything calmed down and had calmer conversations. And they got to meet Irina for the first time and got to experience Ismark's home a little bit. Some of the players explored more than others of the home. Some of the party went upstairs and went to sleep. One of the party went up to meditate. Two of the party went and explored a library area. One of them jumped in a coffin with a body in it. You know, things happened. And we had a lovely conversation with our characters, Nadar and Zyle, on the couch, where they kind of got into some of their backstory and some of the tragedies of their tales. Had some good moments there. And then one of the last things that happened in the episode was we heard a loud scream from upstairs, which was specifically from the character Mark, who ironically has not shown up yet. So this should be interesting. I don't know how we're going to play this, but before we get going, I'm going to switch the cameras over now that we hopefully have everything set and see if this shows up properly. Yes. Okay. So everybody's in the right spots. So we have that.
Hi, everybody.
And then if he does join in, I guess we're
screwed for a few seconds.
Yep.
Yeah, just a few seconds. Don't
So
worry about it.
I guess the initial thing is just, I mean, you guys have heard this. The ones that are the closest would be Zyle, Nadar,
Everyone drink.
and
I did.
gosh, someone do a drink. Okay. Cheers. Technically, Ayla is the closest, but she is meditating. But the closest that were cautious and cognitive would be Nadar, Zyle, and Ismark. We're all kind of in the living room area at the bottom of the stairs. And then that leaves Millard and Elworth were still kind of on the other side of the house in the study, if I remember correctly. I don't know if they ever left that room or not. But so you guys would have heard it, but it would have been very faint. So it would not have been specific enough for you to really know who it was. You just know that some form of scream happened. That was it. Now, Zyle, Nadar, and Ismark unquestionably know that not only was it a scream, but they know who it was that was screaming. And that is where we left off last episode, but more importantly, where we pick up this episode. So the first thing we'll do, I guess, is have Zyle and Nadar have your reactions for how do you respond to this?
Good
Val will
question.
just immediately snap. He's upstairs, right?
Correct.
Yes.
So he'll just immediately snap his head and look that way, and grab his spear and take off running.
All right.
Nadar will be a little more hesitant, considering he's still sober for the most part. He has like 1 or 2 drinks in him, I think.
Okay.
And then he follows along with his great axe in hand, or whatever axe he has. Great axe, yeah.
Okay. So Easemark is just going to kind of see both of you dart up the stairs with weapons. And is this normal or bad? Like, do I need to get weapon?
Nadar stops for a second, like, I don't know, and just turns back and goes running.
He's just kind of befuddled at the moment. Does Zal say anything, or does he just go up the stairs?
He's gone. Like, he took off.
He
screamed, right? Like, I'm
Yeah.
not. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So, so you guys make your way upstairs, and you're going to arrive at the outside of where Mark's room was. The door is shut at the moment. Before you go in, I'll give the option. Ayla, did you want to do anything?
So Ayla is in a meditative state, but the scream wakes her up, but she doesn't actually hear the scream. She just knows that something like has disrupted her.
Mm-hmm.
But she can hear Zyle coming up the stairs, just boom, boom, boom. Just like, what? So she runs to the door and opens it up and sees him coming.
Okay.
And she's just like, what's going on?
As he's running by, he's just going to say, Mark just screamed. I don't know what's happening. He's not slacking up.
She like takes a moment to just like kind of let that process of Mark screamed and just takes after Zyle.
Let me mute that extra. I was noticing an echo. Gotcha. Okay. So they're going that way, and then we'll give an option back over on the other side of the house for Elbreth and Miller. Do you guys have any sort of reaction to this?
Oi, you hear something?
You're muted.
Muted.
Yeah, I told you this house was unsafe, and just, I guess, ran out.
I was probably fine. I'm sure the others would take care of it. We got some more books to read in here.
Elbreth will pick up a book and grab Millard by the arm and try to drag him.
What's going on? It can't be that bad.
Do you resist, or are you going to let her drag you?
I kind of let her go.
Okay.
Like, just let her take. Look, like, it's probably fine. We're in a creepy house. There's tons of stuff going on. Like, it's. Come on.
Hey, Millard.
Here's Liam.
There we go.
What do you got here?
Just gotta get his camera on, and then we'll be good. Hi, everybody. I'm on here twice. Hi, Mom.
I'm Nadar.
I made it. I'm on a stream twice.
What's a stream?
Right. Okay, so
Yay!
I'm just going to say this all as I got dragged along.
Okay.
No, Mark is not that defensible. We need to check on him.
Okay.
How do you know it was Mark? It could have been anybody. It could have been a stupid bat, you know?
Oh, we didn't tell what kind of...
You two are too far away from the house, so you just know that some form of scream.
We just always assume it's Mark because he's always the first one to get into trouble, as long as there's no talking involved.
Well, whoever it is, I don't really want any of them being sacrificed to whatever weird things that these people do in this town.
Sacrifice? Who mentioned anything about sacrificing? What what was in your book again? What were you reading about?
Cults handing blood. It was weird, creepy stuff.
You didn't think to mention this before.
I was trying to explain to you, but you were a little too into the dad.
Hey, that body was very interesting. I found some very interesting stuff on that body. In fact, the most interesting stuff that I've ever read.
All right. Well, one of our friends is about to be a body.
Okay. I guess we better go then. And I start kind of like running along.
Okay. So the second you guys, which has she just been dragging you this whole time, or did you ever at some point get up?
Kind of like stumble dragging.
Okay. So you get to like where a hallway kind of joints into like one of the rooms. Irina is going to like be ahead of you and is like also going the same direction in some sort of like very concise manner of like she is on mission of trying to figure out what the heck's going on as well. So she will be slightly ahead of you. But I would assume you guys just keep trekking onward towards her.
Well, I guess if she's going with somewhere important, then I guess we should go too. And we just keep running.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll follow that to where Millard and Elbreth and Irina all get to where the scream originated from, and everybody's kind of on the outside of the door. So Zal, you were the first one there at the door, so you have first dibs to proceed how you may.
He's rolling up in there ready to go.
with a spear.
I mean, the man's screaming. He doesn't know what's happening.
Yep. All right. So you open the door, and per your
Aggressively.
so per your description, I assume you're not only opening the door, you're like going in the room, right?
Yes.
Okay. Does anyone else go in the room, or is everyone just kind of waiting
I
to see?
do.
Okay.
I
look
follow
at-
Zyle in.
okay.
Yes, Nadar does as well.
Okay.
I just stay outside the room.
Millard stays out, and then Elbreth.
In the doorway to keep an eye on everyone.
She's like, neither. I stay in the door frame, literally. So, okay. That means everybody is in the room aside from Millard. He's on the outside of the room, and Elber's in the door frame. But like Irina and Ismark and all the other group are actually in there. And you see Mark, who was sleeping, so he's lying on a bed, but is now sitting up. Kind of has one hand over his face like this. We'll just say for any of the ones that are in the room can see that he has a tear going down his face, and in his right hand is grasping a small, very small blue bracelet of sorts. And before we have time to ask any questions, we're going to experience a dream sequence. So,
Is he dead?
everybody sit back and relax, except for Mark, because now it's the time for that to proceed forward. So, we're going to get into what Mark was experiencing that led to the scream. This is obviously a dream. It is not happening in real time for anyone that's watching, so this is just more of like a flashback or a memory or vision, whatever you want to call it. And it's kind of going to be the immersion effect, so it's not Mark on the outside looking in, but him reliving a certain moment, so to speak. So, and if the players don't already, it would be in everyone's best interest to have Roll20 up, so that you can have the music. We find ourselves in a house. It's a nice summer day. Windows are open. You can hear the sounds of nature outside. It's very peaceful, very quiet. And Mark kind of gets snapped back to his friend in front of him, literally snapping. Oi! You doing all right there, mate? You've been staying at the wall for quite a while now.
Oh, sorry, Dax. I was just thinking about something. What did you say?
Yeah, I guess having two wee little ones really takes it out of you, yeah? Yeah. I was just saying that I had brought some of the kyanite that you've been asking about for the little ones last time I was here. Here you go. And he reaches out his hand and hands you the kyanite.
Yeah, great. Thanks. How can I pay you back for these?
Yeah. Same as always, mate. Nothing. It's a free reason to come and visit my friend, yeah? Not to mention I get to see the smile on the kids' faces whenever you finally get up to them. You know he's gonna love it.
All right.
We now see Mark's wife, Bev, enter the room. She's holding an infant and holding the hand of a little boy who's barely able to walk. Really is just kind of staggering in and kind of gets a little like of the sideways toddler happy walk when he sees his dad at the other side of the room and sees the blue items that he's holding.
Hey, Nick, guess what Daddy got you?
Sideways walk intensifies. We have a little montage where Mark with his wife and his two kids and his friend, we'll just call him Dak, kind of sit down at a table, and Mark makes his children some bracelets that he makes out of some materials that's going to fit them. It's kind of like a custom thing. It can stretch and it can have string added later to grow into it. But it's just a little thing that he had been talking about making for the family that is cute. It's adorable. It's one of the things he had promised to do with them. We fast forward a little bit, and it is now around the time of day that on this particular day, Mark is getting ready to leave for a specific task.
All right. Beth, I'm off to work. If it'll be until sundown when I get home.
You hear that, little ones? Uncle Dak gets a spoil for a while while Dad's gone. He's going to lean in a little more. Like he's smiling to everybody else, but kind of like leans in to Mark a little more secretively. You be careful now. I've been hearing reports of a strange hooded figure around town. And I know, you're not one for conspiracies, but just be alert, yeah?
Okay. A strange hooded figure that doesn't sound too scary.
Yeah? Well, that's what you said about Quippers. Look how that turned out. All the same, yeah. Just keep an eye out, will you?
I think I'll be fine. Would you like to stay with the family while I'm gone?
Sure thing, mate. I'll watch them as if they were me on.
Alright, thanks, Dak.
Okay, Mark walks over to his kids and his family.
Syrian and Nicholas, I'm off to work. Listen to Mommy and Uncle Dak while I'm gone.
Okay. Family and Dak kind of exchange goodbyes as they just kind of say goodbye to their dad as he goes off to do his research and his studying that he had been planning to do, and he leaves his home and it's about a hour plus walk trek that he had to make to get to where he was going. And several hours pass by. Mark is getting his studying in, and he notices within earshot that some people started whispering. And then in their whispering, one of them quickly left in an abrupt manner. Didn't really pay too much mind to it. Kind of went back to the studying. And then it happened again to where two more people started whispering. This time paying a little more attention and noticed that the same result happened. Two people came to converse and then became unsettled and quickly dispersed and left the building. So at this point, it got a little bit more of his attention, and he puts down his book and walks over to a familiar face to try and assess.
Hey, Helga, what's going on?
He just one of the old keepers of the books that are in the area he's in. I'm not sure. I've seen a few people talking amongst themselves now. I'll go see what I can find out for you, Mark. You stay here.
All right.
She's just going to walk over to two more individuals who have started whispering amongst themselves. Doesn't really stay with them long. It's kind of a short conversation before she quickly turns around and comes back to Mark and kind of puts her hands on the table and looks at him. Mark, you head on home now. There's been sightings of young Afriti in the area. And I'm sure magic users like yourselves are a high target for slave traders. And the last thing any of us want is to see you taken away from your family. So, back on up and head home. I know it's earlier than usual, but you can make up the time on your next visit. Plus, you can bring little Nick and Sherry and show us those cute bracelets you talked about making for them. I'm sure they're adorable.
Okay. Nefriti? I guess I'll just leave there.
Okay. So Mark kind of abruptly gets up and quickly makes haste out of the area. As he leaves the building he was in, he can see the people in the area are kind of not to the point of panic, but the people are very unsettled to where it's very obvious that this is not something that just a few people have heard, but the word of young Afriti being in the area, which are known to kidnap people for slave trading, is kind of grown rather quickly, and a lot of people are getting a little unsettled by it. As Mark kind of quickens his pace a little bit, seeing how unsettled everyone is in the area, he moves forward and is going towards his home and comes across an Afriti in the area that has currently grappled a young adult male, and in the distance his family is kind of just stuck looking in horror because they feel helpless and don't know what to do. And Mark, being quick on his feet, doesn't want to get too intertwined with this, but can't just sit by and let nothing happen, so he casts Hold Person on the Afriti and allows the man to have time to escape and get out of there and reunite with his family. They both exchange glances and do nothing more but take a nod and quickly both try to just get out of there before the Afriti has a chance to really recover and come after either of them.
That's the Hold Person.
Right. Cast Hold Person. This causes Mark to pick up the pace even more. And he is going to very, very, very quickly, now almost in a full sprint, start heading towards his home. And he finally arrives at the house. But when he gets there, he takes a brief stop before entering the house because he notices that the door has been kicked in. So it gives him just a momentary pause just to kind of let that sink in, but then immediately takes no time to kind of rush on in. The first thing Mark does whenever he gets in is just call for literally any members of his family.
Yeah. Beth, Siri. Nick.
Calls out, but he gets no response, and he's frantically making his way from room to room until he comes to a screeching halt in the living room. And on the other side of the room, there is an open portal that has several young Afriti on the other side of the portal that has his wife and his kids held. And there is a hooded figure that turns to look his direction. You still can't see a face because the shroud of the hood is just covering it. But the hooded figure looks Mark's direction, casts a small item onto the living room floor, gives a nod, and the portal closes. And as the portal closes, Mark can now see that on the other side of what he couldn't see at the moment of the portal is his friend Dak sitting against the wall, with still alive at the moment, but with about 6 or so arrows in his chest.
No, this can't be happening.
His buddy Dak is kind of a little out of it, but eventually recognizes that voice and gives a reply. Mark just grabs him by the hands, just kind of shaking. They took him. They took Bev and the little ones.
Yeah. They took them, but you'll be okay, Dak. I just need to get a cleric to you, and he will heal you, and you'll be fine.
I'll save you some time, my friend. Whatever this is, Claire can't help me now. I don't know what that hooded thing was, but when it arrived, it's as if all the warmth of the room ran away. And I couldn't use my magic anymore. I was helpless. I'm sorry, Mark. I really tried.
You'll be okay.
I know how much they meant to you. Dak is going to use what little energy he has left to kind of prop himself up and grab Mark by the hand, shaking, just has eye contact with him. I would have gone with you to the very depths of the 9 hills to get him back. You remember that time? Dak's expression just goes lifeless as he passes away in front of his friend. And Mark kind of drops his head in disbelief and sorrow and lets go as Dak's hand just kind of falls to the floor, attempting to take in everything that just transpired in the mere blink of a moment. Mark, kind of shaking, stands up to turn and look at the small item that was thrown from the portal from the hooded figure, and slowly and shakingly just makes his way towards the item before realizing what it is. And Mark just kind of collapses and falls to his knees, and then reaches out his right hand and pulls in the item and pulls up the small blue bracelet that he had made for his son earlier that day. Not really knowing what else to do, he just squeezes it as tight as he can, tears rolling down both of his cheeks as he just doesn't know what else to do other than look up and let out a cry of just pure pain and agony. And
Anguish.
and anguish. Yep. And that is where the scream took place in both the dream and real life. As we transition back to the room where you guys see him squeezing and holding the blue bracelet. So you guys are in the room. Mark is awake. He hasn't said anything to any of you. He's just kind of looking down, squeezing a blue bracelet.
Is he dead, guys?
I'm not dead. What are you talking about?
So he's fine, right?
Yeah.
As fine as you can be in this place.
Yeah, define fine.
Look, he's not hurt. He's not injured.
Not physically, at least.
Is he mind controlled? Is he possessed? Because I'm not going in there if he's possessed.
There's no ghost or water in here, so you're good.
I just dreamed about my family being kidnapped. And my friend being killed.
Ismark kind of just exchanges a glance with Zyle per one of their conversations about dreams earlier and kind of what that means. Just kind of like continues like a nod of, yeah, like it's, we kind of already knew that's what's going on, but it's just more reaffirming.
I'm gonna walk into the room now.
Yep.
I'm gonna sit beside Mark on the bed.
Yep.
Remember, buddy, you know we're gonna get him back, right? We're gonna find him.
I hope so.
No hopes about it. We know we're gonna find them. They're still alive. Somewhere in one of the other elemental planes. We'll find them.
Okay.
Don't let none of this dreaming stuff shake you. We're in a strange place, but there's some things we know.
Ismark is just kind of taking a look around all of you. Take all of you. Take a good look around right now. Hold on to this. This friendship, this camaraderie, you coming to the aid of your fellow member of your party. Over and over again, I tell you, people come here as playthings of devil, and over again, I see them ripped apart, not only from outside, but from within. But I'm not saying none of them before were friends, but hold on to what you have. I think you have something that some of the others have not.
Okay.
All right, so perhaps we get, 15 people out of man's bedroom now and give him space. No?
Probably
That's
for the best.
Unless,
Is that what you want, Mark?
Yeah. I guess so.
All right.
And it will not necessarily keep anything from happening, but I have certain item I can put in room that might stay overly unpleasant dreams temporarily. You know, can't hurt. Let me.
What's that?
Yes, you know, if you believe in such, you call it dream catcher.
All right.
Worst case, it does nothing. Best case, you not have bad dream again.
Sounds good.
Okay, so Ismark is going to leave to go grab one of those somewhere deep in storage. There, Irina doesn't really say anything. She's just going to kind of take a nod to all of you and just go back to her room. So it's just you guys for now.
I follow Irina.
Okay. Are you attempting to be stealthy, or are you just following her?
No, I'm just following her.
Nadar's going back to the couch.
Okay. So that leaves Zal, Elbereth, and Miller.
Actually, Mark, I think would want to get out of bed and get something to eat.
Okay. So
That does sound like a good plan. We haven't really had anything to eat. Not since a quick bite at the tavern.
okay. Ismark still isn't back yet, so at the moment it's still just you guys talking to each other.
All right.
I pull some of the rations I nicked from the store out. I've managed to scrounge up these earlier.
Oh, okay. I didn't think that you'd would have gone for any rations.
Yeah, of course. Like we gotta keep our strength up when we're in this crazy place, you know.
For
So
sure.
it's just I traded with some of the locals.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
Yeah, anytime, mate.
Zyle knows at this point just to not ask questions.
Probably for the best. Right, so
Zyle. Ilberith might have something she wants to show you. At least we found some kind of odd stuff in this house, and I couldn't make much sense of it. But Elbereth, she was able to decipher. It was very, coded, very, very hard, difficult to crack. But she managed it. So
It was a book, and so she hands Zyle the book.
yeah, like a sorcery book or something.
One of the deep dark codexes. Yes,
Yeah,
I've seen these before. He's gonna kind of thumb through it.
that was the cultist book. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you gather just a few of the things that seem very reminiscent of the house you guys escaped from earlier. Seems to be, accumulation of either wise tales or theories about things that went on, but they all seem to add up very accurately to what you guys experienced.
Yeah, this all sounds very familiar.
That's what I said.
I just didn't want to rule out that all the houses are like that. That this house is not part of that same cult. With traps.
You know, I'll never fault anyone for caution.
I'm still in my bedroom while I'm eating the rations, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who else is in here?
If I'm not mistaken, Zyle, Elberth, and Millard.
Oh, okay. I wasn't certain if I was a part of this conversation.
Yeah.
Um,
At this point, Ismark has made his way back with the like just this weird item of leather and string that just looks like a mess type of thing. If you've never seen a Dreamcatcher before, it doesn't exactly look pretty necessarily. At least this is a very, homemade one, so it doesn't look very elegant, but he just kind of looks, oh, I did not know you were ready to eat. I would have, I have food downstairs if you would like more. I feel bad for not saying that earlier. Here is item I will place it. You simply just put it in room. It does not matter where. And Wisetail says, catches bad dreams.
all
So
right.
there's nothing to no operating procedures, no how-to guides. Nothing.
No, it
just works.
yes.
Yeah, I think it just picks up dreams, I guess.
Well, my friend Nadar here and I would probably be willing to grab a bite, and I think you still owe him that drink. So if you would kindly guide us to the kitchen or the dining area, we would love a bite to eat.
Yeah. While you were exploring other room, I did give him drink, but I take no issue in giving him another if he so desires. I do have a little bit of wild boar that it's only a day old, so it's pretty fresh, that I can whip up. There's plenty to go around.
I'm sure he'd love a spot of that, yeah. I would love that.
If we have any vegetarian people in the group, we also have a variety of different herbs and plant-like things that we have cut and shredded away to serve that as well, and some berries. But for the if you're okay with meat, there's plenty more.
Oh yeah, meat's great. Right, Nadar? Meat's great.
Nadar's not there, right?
I was pretty sure he was there.
He's
He
muted.
went down to the couch, he said.
Right.
Yeah. I went down to the couch. I forgot I was muted because I had the mic up and I had muted Discord.
Yeah. You
And just putting the mic up mutes it as well.
So
I
turn around and I notice that Nadar is gone. I'm sure we'll find him somewhere. He's probably downstairs.
What's that book about?
Don't worry about that right now. Why
Okay.
don't you show me to the kitchen?
It's a lot to take in, Mark, but as big brain as you are, I'm sure you can decipher it. No problem. And I'll hand it to him.
Okay.
I try to hurriedly get Ismark out of the room.
Okay.
Come on, mate. I'm really starving right now. I could
Okay.
really use that boy tea. And the way you're describing it, boar sounds excellent.
All right.
Right
All right.
I was just saying, I've had some good meals, but looking at you, I can tell you're a man who knows how to cook meat. You just do.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's all in the eyes, mate. It's in the nose. I can see you looking at your hands. That's a fool's mistake. Every chef knows it's the nose.
Yeah. Fair enough.
You look at a man's nose, you say, that man knows how to cook.
Hey, fair enough. I won't force you to brown nose any further. I'll go get the boar. Just gonna walk downstairs toward the kitchen.
Can I roll something for deciphering the book?
What are you trying to decipher?
I want to read it. Find out what it's about.
Roll an Arcana check.
Okay. 19 plus 6.
you gather that it is, in fact, not a series of wise tales, but it is somehow, because it doesn't say specifically in the book, but it is actual records of instances from the cult that was a part of that house specifically. So it's
That
not,
house?
yeah, the house that you guys were in earlier. So it's not just like a general, this could be that. It, in fact, is related to that house.
All right. The haunted house.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This. So Elbreth and Zael are still here.
Mhm.
Okay. This is talking about. This is a information about that house that we were in before.
The one that tried to kill us, right?
Yeah.
It focused a lot on occult, it seemed like, in the place.
I guess so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that seemed to be what we gathered. Does it look like the cult extends? Just trying to figure out whether Ismark is part of that cult.
Has he done anything that's cultish?
He invited us into his house in this weird town. I don't know. He might. The children didn't seem like they did anything cultish.
That's a fair point.
The children are just spirits of the house, I think.
And with as high of a roll that you had, you can discern that there is a name listed for like the family that ran the cult. It is in another language that you do not know, but I know that you know comprehend language, so if you do want to use that, you can.
Yeah, I'll try and decipher what the book is saying with to understand language. Yeah.
Okay. And that'll take a little bit of time. So while Mark is doing that, we'll transfer over to Irina, who is walking down the hallway. She hasn't arrived to her room yet, and she kind of stops mid-walk and doesn't turn around. She just looks forward and speaks directly to Ayla. Why are you following me?
Your brother invited us into your home, and you seemed lonely, I guess, and I just wanted to introduce myself a little bit more, I guess.
I am not lonely. I am removing myself from stupidity.
Ah, okay.
But nonetheless, my name is Irina. I am Ismark's sister. It is a pleasure to meet you. I do not mean to seem rude. My father has passed away recently. I am still not in best mood.
Yes, I see that. I am very sorry about your father. I lost my father many years ago as well. He died in my arms. Not fun experience, I know.
Make my condolences.
Thank you. If you would like to rest by yourself, that is fine. But I just wanted to know if you might like little company. I do not have to talk with you. But this is my first time here in Barovia, and it is kind of confusing to me, I should say.
She's been talking to you like facing away the whole time, so now she's gonna
Right.
turn to face you and actually like, because all you've seen so far is more of like the stoic, serious look from her. She's actually gonna give you like a little smile. Like, thank you. I do appreciate it. Right now, I would prefer to go to my room and just meditate, but it is appreciated.
Okay.
And perhaps later, when I've had time to decompress, I'd be glad to have conversation with you.
Okay. You go meditate. I will probably go and do the same. This has been a very odd couple of days for us.
Welcome to Barovia. She kind of smiles and turns around and walks back to her room.
Okay. I'll turn around and go find the others.
Okay. So we will pan to Ismark, Millard, and Nadar, who are all in the kitchen-esque area. You know, Nadar's on the couch, and that's very close to the kitchen, so Ismark is kind of cutting portions of boar, getting them ready, and serving them on plates and handing them to Millard, and he's like pointing them in the direction of the table so that we can kind of like set it out for all the party. He's presuming that everybody's going to eat, so he's just getting all sorts of food ready.
All right, mate. As I was saying, just from your nose, you can tell like this ball is going to be great. Here, let me grab my friend. He will confirm this. Nadar, get in here. Stop lying about. We've got all night to lie about. You've only had one drink today, mate.
Nadar just seems out of it. He just... Once again, he's not acknowledging people.
I have idea. I've tried this with dwarf before. Cuts
How
a
many
slice.
dwarfs do you know?
3.
That's better than 0, I guess.
Cuts a slice off. Does it? Chunks it straight and just lands on Nadar's face.
Nadar wipes
it doesn't
it off
hurt.
and tosses it.
It doesn't hurt.
He tosses it, but he doesn't respond.
Look at Ismark. What exactly was the plan there? Like,
All the other dwarves friends I've had actually requested that.
I've never seen that ever, and I've
Huh?
hung around with this guy for like an amount of time.
But yeah. 3 out of 4.
I take those odds.
He was worth a shot. Figured I'd attempt to bring up a little cheer, but yeah, I don't know him as well as you do, so that
You
was
got
my
that
try.
drink. You said you got some alcohol, right? Some of your wine.
He grabbed some more wine. I'll let you try this time.
Yeah, give me 2 glasses. I'll need 2 glasses.
You know what? Just take bottle. I'll get other bottle.
Go down on the couch, sit down next to Nadar. Hey mate, what's up? You've been down a lot lately. And I hold the alcohol in front of his face.
Nadar takes it, but doesn't take a drink.
Kind of unusual for you.
Oh, yeah, and without realizing, and then after that, he takes a small sip instead of the usual guzzle it down.
Ismark kind of just looks at Miller like, well, while you talk, I'll go get the rest of your friends and let them know that the food's ready.
Oh, start with Ayla. She's probably going to be causing problems with your sister. I'd find her first.
If she is conscious, yes. Kind of briskly walks that direction.
Is it, does it have to do with the ghosts, mate? Like, because I was freaked out by them too.
What ghosts?
Never mind. Forget I even mentioned ghosts.
Where did you get Fluffle Shuffle from?
Well, there was that time. In fact, I don't even remember if you were there. I mean, Zyle was there, and Elbereth was there, and Mark was definitely there, because he said it was my fault, but it definitely wasn't my fault. Like, if anybody's fault, it was the vendor's fault. A chicken vendor. He said he was selling me a chicken, but when I picked it up, it felt heavier than a chicken, and it didn't really look like a chicken. Anyway, there was that time when we were trying to escape from the market out in Kashmir, and Zyle said, shuffle along on out of there. So every time after that, we could just call it the Kashmir Shuffle. Whenever we needed to book it out of somewhere real quick.
Oh.
But that's not what you heard at all, was it?
Something about a weird chicken that wasn't a chicken.
Yeah, that about sums it up. Yeah.
Running out of there and calling it Fluffle Truffle.
I didn't come up with the name. Zyle came up with the name. You have to take it up with him.
This is the point of their conversation still going, but at that point, Ismark has run into Ayla because they're both heading into each other. Oh, okay, good. You are conscious. That is better than alternative. Okay, food is ready.
Why would I not be conscious?
Is not important. What is good? Food this way. Yes. Okay. Yep. We go now.
Oh, okay. Ismark, I have a question for you. I'm not even gonna say quick because you just shut that down anyways. Your sister, she seems very nice, by the way. She's a very lovely little lady. She's not your sister, is she?
No, she is. What make you say that?
You don't look much alike.
Yeah, her mom and dad did not look much alike. We each took after one of them, to be honest. But
also, she is first one I've seen in armor here.
She learned very quickly that those who do not fight die here. And she chose to do something about it. And I admire her for that. I do not possess the athletic or physical ability to fight in that way, really, aside from, a few defense tactics, but certainly not strong in the offensive category. Really, all I can offer is more of my mind, if any.
Are you in the military here?
Mm-hmm. I strategize.
Strategy. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well. Your sister went to go rest. I let her be.
She took father's death really, really hard. Believe it or not, she's actually a very cheerful person. It's just,
Oh, I know the feeling. I lost my father a while ago as well. Um,
Condolences.
Thank you. It never leaves you, and I know that for you both, this is very fresh. He just passed. But
In one sense, yes. In other sense, his physical deterioration was long, and
the-
I think it should have happened long ago. And in some ways, I think he had already died for me before he died, if that makes sense.
maybe that would no makes sense. He died before he died. He wasn't there. Is that what you're telling me? Like he just wasn't present in his mind?
Yes.
Okay.
Whatever
I
was left
understand.
in the end was not really my father anymore. It was more of, a person that required everything done for them hand and feet and could not really talk much.
Mm. I am sorry that you had to go through that. That is not enjoyable. I mean, no way of losing someone is enjoyable.
Well, be it to be comforting or disturbing, I have dealt with far worse deaths, unfortunately, in this land. This is the closest
Yes.
person to me, so it hits different, but the manner
Well-
of the death was at least less graphic.
What about your mother?
Oh, she passed away when we were much younger.
Oh, okay.
It was not violent thing, it was more health problem.
Mm.
A lot of people here actually end up dying from I don't know what actually causes it, whether it be grief or stress. But
Mm.
living in land like this, it takes toll on body over time.
Yes, stress can do that to a person. Either way, I am sorry for your loss. I gave my condolences to your sister as well, and I did tell her, if she wanted to talk or just have someone around. Sometimes it's nice to just have person be there and no talking. I do understand that. So
Yes. I'm sure whenever she's had time to decompress, she'll be more acceptable to having conversation with you.
yes, I'm sure Nerdar trying to sneak up on her and her having to defend herself did not help in this circumstance.
Perhaps not, but
It was enjoyable to watch. I will not deny. It was quite
I
enjoyable, but for her, probably stressful.
you say this, but I know my sister. It is annoyance now. It'll be funny later.
Yeah, glad to hear it. Anyways, shall we? You said that there's food. Shall we join the others in the?
Ooh, yes, I
Yeah.
have wild boar and herbs and berries and wine. So that is options. It's
Sounds.
not as many options as I suppose a authentic mansion, but it is what we have.
Yeah, it is good. It is good. Let us
Okay.
go.
Okay, I take you to kitchen. So he walks back. We can actually I want to see what conversation is happening with Zyle, Elbreth, and Mark up in their room. Because at this point you have deciphered the name of the individuals. And it's so for one, it's not related to any name that is attached to Easemark, if that's helpful to you. For two, it's a long, like gibberish type of name, honestly, that is almost unpronounceable.
A big string of guttural noises.
Right.
As Moran, I'm a Galicon.
Something along
That's a
those
real thing.
lines. And Mark, you can feel free to make one up if you like.
I really like the
Muted.
name Kerfluffle.
Liam, if you're talking, you're muted.
Kerfluffle Lasmarana Medakadelicon.
The name here of the owners of that house, I guess, is Abacadoogalaker.
Writing that down.
I gotta jot that down real quick.
Is it Abracadablewood?
Oh boy.
That's
How
what
do
it
you
is.
spell that?
I am looking forward to
Oh,
Friday notes.
Oh, but please do. Please.
Abracadoodlewood.
Ooh.
We'll put that on a
we all need
t-shirt.
We all need to send our spelling of that to the Discord at the same time and see what we come up with.
What's the word again, Mark?
Hold on.
Let's do it again.
Don't worry, it's on the internet now. We'll be able to go back and find it.
It had the cur, but it didn't have the fluffle.
Yep.
Abracadooble cur.
Oh, you know the name of the people now. Ooh. Zyle and Elbreth, you've heard the name.
So that doesn't sound like our friend Ismark, at least.
Ismark.
Doesn't
You broke me.
Why would
that doesn't entirely rule out that they don't have non-family members in their cult.
yeah? But has Ismark done anything that's suspicious?
He lured
He's
us
been
to his
friendly
house.
in this land, and that's
Suppose, but like we gotta. There's got to be someone who's nice.
Maybe. Seems that like it would break people by being here, so he could just be being nice to lure us to his house. And he told us not to leave tonight.
Okay, why'd he do that?
To sacrifice us to a blob monster.
He told us to leave, not to leave, so that he could sacrifice us to a blog monster?
I mean, he didn't say that last part, but we can't rule that out. Because the children didn't seem suspicious. What if they were a brother and sister? Here's another brother and sister who could also be just here to lure us into the house.
Maybe.
in his defense, there was a big thing out there. I'm not even sure what it was.
I didn't know either.
Yeah, I don't think there's probably any winning here. We have to choose the frying pan or the fire, possibly. But the slowly boiling pot right now is a better choice.
as Millard likes to say, any port in a storm.
I think we should definitely have someone awake on watch this coming night. I think maybe if I get some rest now, then I'll be able to have watch sometime.
So, with where you guys have arrived in your conversation, Ismark and Ayla have arrived back at the living room, and he kind of points Ayla towards the living room table where some food and drinks have been set out, and kind of looks back at Millard. Do I go get the rest of friends now and offer them food?
Oh,
to
yeah,
come?
yeah, sure. I look around. It's probably good. And I take a drink from my wine glass, and I turn back to Nadar. Yeah, and you see, there's this other time, I don't know if you remember this, when we got Mark so drunk that when he used his rope trick, he lassoed my leg, and he lifted me like 50 feet in the air. So that one we called whiskey business, and that's not to be confused with when we use cooking as a distraction, which is also called whiskey riskness, because it's kind of risky, but it's also you're whisking like you're baking, if that makes sense. So that's kind of the naming convention that Zio's come along with, and then I sometimes add some flair, and sometimes Elbreth suits in something, but that's generally how the code works.
You and your code. I remember some, I forget most. I just follow whatever Zyle tends to point toward.
Oh yeah, and that's probably like the key, is whatever Zaya points to. That's generally the way to go. I don't know if you remember all this, Nadar, but like that's generally everything we need to know for the plans to work out.
Oh, okay.
So, Ismark has made it upstairs because that was much closer. And he's going to see Mark, Elberth, and Zal still conversing. Pardon interruption. I don't mean to interrupt conversation if it's personal. Whatever. If food is supplied downstairs, I have wild boar, herbs and berries, and wine that your other friends have already begun eating. If you would like some, you are welcome. There's more than enough for everybody, but if you will just take a rest, that is fine. Do whatever suits you, but just know you are welcome to it. Okay, good talk. I leave you in room now. And he just walks back to the kitchen.
I guess we could join the others down there and have a bite. We haven't really had much this whole time we've been here.
All right, I'm gonna go for a short rest.
Okay. So Mark is going to sleep. So Zao, are you going to the kitchen?
Yes.
Okay. Elberth, what do you do?
Go to the kitchen.
So you guys make your way down, and Ismark kind of just points you to the table. It's not a crazy nice table, but it is big enough to seat everyone comfortably. And there's a plethora of boar and herbs and berries and wine that is more than enough for you to get seconds, thirds. You get however much you want, really. So now you have everyone is sitting together at the table. I don't know what Nadar's doing, but as long as everyone is willing, you can come sit down at the table. The only people who would not be present would be Mark and Irina, and then depending on what Nadar's doing.
Nadar will. Once everyone else is sat down and like they start eating, Nadar then walks over and follows.
As they enter, I walk up to Zael and kind of give him like a knowing signal, and just whisper, "Did you figure out the book?"
Yeah, I think Mark got it cracked.
Sounds good. And then I kind of turn to like a more cheery, like, I'm telling you, this man can cook. Like this boar, I've tasted it. Nadar's kind of tasted it on his face. It is brilliant. It is great. And the berries, excellent. Herbs, less so. But the boar is great.
Ismark just kind of looks at him like with a brow raised and just looks back at the rest of you like, does he always do this? Like I already gave him food. I don't know why he needs to continue brown nosing, but
Don't mind him. He's obviously hiding something. Just ignore
Hey,
him.
no, food is important. Food is necessary for everyone. So you might as well enjoy it.
Miller, you may stop talking now.
I've starved on less good food than this.
You know,
Our compliments.
if you were starved, then you should just fill your mouth with the food so you can stop the talking. Just saying. Anyway,
Hey,
since
I'm
you
not
do
the
not
one who
like the
gets it.
herbs, I will take the herbs.
I'm not the one who gets in trouble when they're talking.
I do not always get in trouble when I am talking. Now do I?
And then I sit down to eat.
Are compliments and enjoying stuff really that rare in this land?
No, he's been doing it for about 10 minutes now. You missed it because you were upstairs.
Yes,
Zael's
it
gonna
is a
lean
bit overkill.
Zal's going to lean over to Ismark and say, he calls that one the honeysuckle up.
I can hear him because I'm close enough, and I just shake my head. I'm like, you guys and your stupid names.
He's just gonna kind of like, I think I'm better off not asking what that means.
I'm pretty sure that one is a lie, anyways. That is not real.
Zal looks hurt that you would think he would lie.
I just look at him and
I
say,
have
don't
no
give me that look. I've known you long enough to know when you are being sarcastic.
He kind of gives you a crap-eating grin.
Ismark is just stuck here because it's basically like he's in the middle. Like, okay. I have no frame of reference either way. I would just yes. Boar.
Can I make a persuasion check here to just
Great.
convince him that I am normally like this and
Sure.
that I truly believe that his
Go.
food is really good?
Go for it.
Okay, sweet. Haha! 23.
All right. How do you persuade him?
I'm just gonna,
Sets his hands on
look.
fire.
We're all kind of jokesters here. To be honest, your food is really good. And I know some might consider that brown nosing or sucking up, but I honestly think your food's good, and my friends are just pulling your leg and trying to make me look bad.
I just like glare at him.
I take your word for this. It was less of what you said than just more of how many times you said it. But I take no offense to it. If you like the food, you like the
You
food.
got to understand, mate. We've been stuck here for we don't know how long, and
True that.
the most we've had is what little rations we brought with us. So any home cooked food kind of tastes like a 5-course meal.
This I can understand. Which, now that we've finally, or mostly all together, I know you have one friend resting, but I suppose would be better time. As promised, I did tell all of you when we had time to sit down that I would do best I can to answer more questions if you have any, at least the best of my ability. So please, if you have questions, I will do my best. I know you are in unfamiliar area and must have quite a few.
You guys have the many attacks by the wolves and the other things in the forest. And you said that the one that shall not be named has brought other adventurers here before for his own twisted game, I should say, yeah?
This is our understanding, yes.
Okay. And it has always been like that? He always bring people here?
I do not presume to use such terms as always or never, but it for any sort of record or history we have, it's many generations, thousands of years.
Ah. Okay.
So to answer your question, if it goes further, I could not tell you when it started. It is before any records that we have. But if anyone would know, there are only two individuals I can think of who would even potentially know answer to a question like that. Not that they would, but if anyone was going to, it would be, Madam Eva, like I told you about, and Sir Henrik on the mountain. Both of them have more wisdom than most around things of the history of these lands.
Right. I think my party wanted to see Mr. Henrik, is that what his name was? How long of a journey from here?
Oh goodness. That is midway up mountain. It would take many days.
Okay. And Miss Eva, is she on the way? Different way?
If when heading back through trail we came from, if you take left, you go back to village where we came from. If you take right, you head to next city, and before you get to next city, you run into Vistani camp along the road. It will be on road, so it will not be hard to see.
Okay.
But I be honest, you are tenured adventurers, you do as you may, but I would not suggest making trek to mountain until you at least have enough comfort to know the land better and maybe have provisions to survive such a journey. I think right now, if you chose to do such, it would be rather reckless.
Okay. And would you come with us? Help direct us? And no?
Oh, I flattered at the question, but I think I'd be more of hindrance than I would be benefit on such a excursion. But if you choose to go there, I can attempt to guide you.
And I know you said your sister is a lot more strength than you, more combat wise.
Yes.
Would she be able to come and help us in this, since we do not know Barovia? Like I'm not trying to put my party down. We are pretty well known back where we come from. As adventurers, we can hold our own, but in this place, it even from the beginning, I felt the lacking, and it has become pretty obvious that we are not ourselves here.
This is consistent with stories of most other adventurers I've talked to that come here. To answer first question, I do not presume to speak for my sister. I do not know if she would be up for that or not. Given her current state of mind, I would presume not, but perhaps I am wrong and it would be the thing that would help her get over the hump, as it were.
Yeah.
That would be a question for her when she is ready for it.
All right. And also, thank you so much for your hospitality and, bringing us to shelter in your home and for the food. And for the knowledge that you offer us about Barovia. Please let us know if there is anything that we might be able to do for you or your sister.
Quite a strange group indeed. It's not very often we receive hospitality back.
I was raised to always give hospitality.
And turn 1 questions into 7. I see. But
I did not say I had one question this time, sir.
yeah, this is fair.
Are we not allowed to have conversation over a meal?
You are, I suppose. I just feel weird because the rest of them have just been staring at me this entire time. But, perhaps they are intently listening.
Oh, that's a dangerous word there, conversation, when it comes from her mouth.
I think I'm beginning to learn this a little.
Yes.
They're too busy eating to be
Although,
talking.
I do not think her intent is bad. I think sometimes mouth does not keep up with intent. No? Maybe this accurate?
I think that people misconstrue what I actually mean. And only those who truly know me can understand my true intent. And I know this is a fault on my part.
Spoken like a politician.
It's because she uses all those fancy words that nobody can understand there.
Yeah.
I do not use
Funny.
fancy words. I do not know what you talk about.
But to be fair to the rest of group, please, if any of you have questions, I would like to answer anything that I can.
But when we were first brought here, and we were welcomed unknowingly by the devil himself, there was a noise, and he'll attempt to describe it as best he can. That whatever that was, do you have any idea what that might have been?
Now, this is interesting. Remind me, how long ago you say it was when you think you arrived? I know time is weird when traveling from where you were, but how do you feel it has been?
What, 2 days, you all would say?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Probably.
Now that is curious. I know the sound you are referring to. But this was about 3 months ago.
Which
The only thing
is better than years.
The only thing I can surmise is that cursed house that you entered. There's many things we yet to understand about it. We have a book in library, as some of your friends have read, but some of it we can read, some of it is in languages we cannot. But if information is to be believed from book, it is a very strange place indeed, and it is not beyond the realm of possibility that you could experience time differently in that building than we can out here. So perhaps you did arrive months ago, But by entering house, it did not feel like that. It maybe flowed differently. I don't know. This is theory. I have no proof of this. But this is interesting. But to your question, we do not know what this noise was. It was sounded from distant area from, if I remember right, I think it was from south. But it was very strange noise. Not something we're used to hearing.
So it's not something common in this land, what you're saying?
Far from it. I would dare say something most of us have never heard. Which is why we have such vivid memory of it, because most of us were like, what was it?
I'm not sure if that's comforting or distressing.
I apologize. It is sadly the best answer I can give you.
Oh no, that's not a knock against you, Ismark.
At least it gives us something to go off of.
Right.
I think you lot here would probably be the only ones that would even begin to be as inquisitive about it as you are. Most of the rest of us, when something new or unknown happens here, we go the other direction.
Oh, all feeling tired all of a sudden.
Yeah, if you feel the need, there are many beds. You may feel free to rest as much as you would like.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna. You know, it happens when you eat.
Mostly when you drink 4 glasses of wine, but yes.
Oh, that wasn't me. No, that was mostly my friend. I'm gonna walk upstairs to a room near Mark's.
Right. Any of the rest of you? Do you have any additional questions?
Yeah, go back to the part. Well, I guess this is more a question for Sile. What do you mean devil? I don't remember meeting a devil when we got here.
Didn't someone explain that was...
I think she was out when we were talking
Oh,
about
yeah.
meeting the man that you guys all said we met, because I don't also remember meeting anybody. But that was me.
When we first got here, we saw the guy that killed Idris hanging, and we met that guy who told us to run, and when the sound happened.
So apparently that guy is the devil everyone's referring to.
It's a lot of confusing information there for me that I'm sure I'm not privy to. Okay, so let's see, name Idris, if I say correctly. Is that someone here or someone from where you're from?
He was from where we're from.
And I take it based on verbiage, he is no longer with us, yes?
He was slain by a hooded figure who was very brutally murdered and displayed when we arrived in this land. We didn't see the murder happen, just the aftermath.
The hooded figure was murdered?
Pretty gruesomely, if I remember right.
Yeah, his
I do
his
not
body was
remember.
by that other man, or the devil, I guess.
Did you ever go to investigate body?
Didn't have time to. I wanted to, but that's when the loud crash happened, and he told us to run.
Ah, I see. Shame. I would have liked to probably know more details about what it looked like. I don't want to presume this is what you ran into, but no doubt, I believe we had this conversation. You've already had the run-in with one of the 7, yes?
Yes, Samael was his name.
Not a fun one to run in, that was.
It was not pleasant, I can tell you that much.
Well, I don't know if it is going to be much of a surprise, but none of them are going to be overly pleasant, unfortunately.
But hopefully they do not also put me on ceiling.
Put you on ceiling.
Yes, he lift me up and just go
Ceiling.
smash me against ceiling. Not fun.
I thought that was fun.
You would not think that if it was you. He's crushing my lungs, could barely breathe. Not fun.
It sounds about right. To the point, the typical calling card of the group, they always tend to be shrouded in darkness, and they typically wear hood to conceal their identity at times whenever they feel such. Other ones, like the ones that you ran into, are a little more, shall we say, arrogant and don't care as much about having their identity hidden, and somewhat the opposite. But I don't want to presume that's what you ran into, because if it was, that is very strange that you say it was murdered. I don't know what could do such a thing to one of the 7, but very strange indeed.
Well, he had said that he works for someone else. So
True. He kidnapped my brother, and he said that it was for someone's amusement.
we were gonna go check it out today, but for some reason we're here now. I mean,
Yeah. You are welcome to go back through direction of village and head. I think the sound was somewhere south. I don't know the exact direction where it came from because it's been a few months. Forgive me, but I know it came general direction of where it came from. Although at this point, if any type of body is left, I can't imagine it would be much to investigate.
So these 7, what exactly are they?
Just vessels
Besides
of
insufferable
vessels of death and torment and destruction and any sort of culmination of terrible things you can conjure with your mind. The best answer I can come up with is Devil has been around for a long time and often finds more amusement in, I guess we'll say, playing chess with things, and you are the opposing pieces. Those are his pieces. It's about as much.
So they don't work for him.
I don't think most of them have much of a choice in the matter, but most of the people that, I mean, I try not to encounter any of the 7, so most of any knowledge I have is from hearsay or stories I've encountered from others, but most of them seem to be tormented and corrupted individuals already that don't take much issue in serving someone like that. Typically, anyone that desire power tend to sometimes sacrifice their own morality to achieve it. That's why most of the ones you will run into are no doubt very wicked people.
Good to know, at least.
Yes, I don't think it needs to be said, but just for sake of, I would not go looking for interaction with any of the 7 if you can help it.
I've had enough for a while.
I have a feeling that it is not necessarily going to be able to be avoided, but we shall try. Because that last encounter, no fun.
Well, it was, from my understanding, the one you ran in of is one of the strongest of the 7. So the fact that any of you are even alive is commendable.
Thank you.
Although there is tales from afar, I don't get to travel as much as I would like, but I have a few friends that come to village every now and then between trade routes and things. There are tales that the devil has recently acquired 2 new members of 7 to replace 2 that were either removed or killed. I'm not sure which. But if your story is to be taken as what you ran into as one of the 7, and they were indeed killed, I suppose that makes sense. I don't know what the second would be. But allegedly, there are 2 new ones, and before the one you ran into, Samael was the strongest, but with these new ones, he is no longer. And now thinking of it, I think it was not but 2, couldn't have been but 2 weeks, 2-3 weeks after the sound you described, I hear this story. So they very well may be related.
Possibly.
It's only a theory, but
Yes.
it's intriguing
Well,
to say the least.
We have multiple places of interest that we may want to go, so I think as a party we need to decide where we are going next.
This would make sense. And now Irina comes around from her room and sits at the table and looks at her brother. She says, "We talked about this beforehand, but neither of us should go anywhere until we bury Father."
He is not buried. I thought it had been a few days.
Ismark
It's
is
upstairs.
It is not from lack of desire. His request was to be buried at church, and the journey there is not short, and it is very dangerous for me and my sister to make a journey alone and carry casket. It would make both of us very susceptible, so we have avoided it longer than we should have.
I see. Kyle.
Does it happen to be in the same direction as either of the two people you mentioned earlier?
Not really. It is actually back in village of Barovia at the furthest northern point.
Ah. And no one has offered to help?
Eh, it's life is more complex and nuanced than that, I'm afraid. There are those who have offered to do such, but as I said, most of the ones here are not warriors, and that church, although church is usually a good place and not something bad, devil have sick, twisted sense of humor and likes to invoke most of the attacks in that area.
Ah.
Inside church, fine. Outside, not so much.
Why would your father desire to be buried there?
It's where mother's buried.
Okay then. Well, to thank you for your great help and hospitality, this seems to be something that we could help you with.
It is appreciated that you would mention that, but I would not ask that of any of you. I know you seem to have headings that you people would like to go on, and this is something that is more personal to us. But it is appreciated that you would offer such. But I did promise my sister that I would not leave until we took care of father first. So before I can help any of you, it is something that we must take care of.
And it is in our benefit to help you if it relinquishes you from being at this house. Because like I said, we do not know Barovia, and it would be most helpful to have someone as a guide. So I look at everybody else. Do you all agree? Should we help?
Yeah, I'm not really a fan of going off course, but they need our help, and we've all lost people, so we know that this is important.
Definitely think we should help.
Nadar is once again distracted, but this time he's just eating. He's just mindlessly eating.
Finally gave in to the boar. This is very unusual. Not sure what to do with receiving kindness. It's usually only in spurts from people.
You brought 5 strangers into your home and fed and put us up for the night. I mean, don't be surprised when occasionally someone reciprocates.
Also, going into town is not the worst choice for us either. It gives us opportunity to make sure we have everything we need for different journeys as well.
Very well. It is much appreciated. So, if all of you are up to it, when day comes, at the first light,
Yeah.
we will make a journey to cemetery and church to try and bury my father so that my sister will be happy and fulfill father's wish, and I may help you further and will honor what I said and will guide you to direction of your choice.
Sounds like a plan. And Arena, if you would like to also join us on our journey here, you are more than welcome to come with us once we have properly buried your father.
It is appreciated. For now, I wish to simply be a father. But we
Yeah.
can talk more after that has happened.
Good. Is it late now?
It's been nighttime for a minute.
Well, it is getting late. I am done with my meal. Thank you. I am going to go back to my room and meditate for a bit. I do not need long, so don't mind me if I am up earlier than the rest of you.
Before you go, you guys all hear a knock at the front door.
Please tell me you're expecting visitors.
Ismark looks very unsettled.
That's
Oh,
gonna
no.
be a no then.
Exchanges look
And
with
please tell me you haven't taken anything that doesn't belong to you.
you. Take us for thieves. No.
Just the last house we were in, someone took something. It did not go over well. It is
Ah.
not
Just
about you.
covering the bases.
Understandable. It is good to be inquisitive. No, we have not. Stay here. Be prepared for anything. I'm hesitant to even open door. It's nightfall. What could have even got past creature is undoubtedly guarding area.
I stand
I
up
have about
and
7 guesses.
I stand and go and walk over, stand next to Irina. Where's she sitting? I know she's sitting.
I roll a 14 to stealth underneath the table.
You guys look up. Where's Nadar?
Have we been here at least an hour?
Yes.
Okay.
So Ismark goes up, stands up to go towards the door. But before he does, all of you, if you are at all looking in the direction, because you can see the front door from where you guys are.
Yeah.
See a cloud of smoke kind of formulate and then appear and then actually literally morph into a person. And you recognize it as the individual you guys saw when you arrived in Barovia. And he just kind of stretches his neck. Good evening. We have much to talk about. And that is where we'll end tonight's episode.
Bum, bum, bum.
Good job, everybody.
Yay!
Yay.
We're gonna end this episode on imminent death.
So
Yeah.
it's like Mark.
Yeah, that's
just
a problem.
excited for next time where it's gonna be like, "Hey guys, we're helping him out." What?
Or worse, before you get the, hey guys, oh, he's down. Okay, nope, going back to bed. That's okay. Oh man, so thank you everybody for watching up until this point. If you are watching on YouTube, this is the point where we start to interact with chat a little bit and just have a little fun at the end of tonight. But we are done with the episode itself. So if you've been watching this as a VOD or on YouTube, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next week. You can feel free to stick around. We'll try to communicate in some way that is somewhat legible and sensible. For we know that Nadar, our friend Lava, will fall off the quickest. So Ayla, if you don't mind having AJ's person ready. But so Lava, there's a few things that happen tonight, all of which is rather interesting. But did you have any? What was your favorite moment of tonight? How about that?
The whole conversation on just any of the random stuff that we ended up talking about, like Fluffle Shuffle or whatever.
Yeah,
The code.
The codes, and I still want Liam to say it in because I don't know if I got every letter.
Oh,
I can't repeat
you-
what I said.
you best believe that's gonna be a clip.
Clip, clip.
I wonder if that's what was supposed to be shared earlier that got deleted because Nightbot's fun.
Well, right. So additionally to anyone in chat, if you have any questions or anything you'd like us to attempt to answer within reason, this is the time where we actually interact with you verbally. So if you have any questions, feel free to let them fly. We try to cater
I
towards.
haven't gotten to show off the merch I was wearing.
Oh, nice.
You mentioned it at the beginning, and I was just like, "Oh," and then we just never did it.
Yeah, it was such a shuffle trying to get things in order. But
Try and get it.
it's the elf one,
Beer shuffle.
right? Is it
It was-
comfortable?
It is comfortable. So this one, so I bought 3 different shirts from our merch store because I wanted to try it out for everybody. So this one is the woman's
Mm-hmm.
cut, and then I also have our bat emote shirt, which is just like a unisex cut, and then I have one that just has the TOY Trials of Imagination, which is a tank top. The tank top is the softest, I should say. This is very fitted. I believe I got a small, and it definitely fits as a small. And then the unisex one is also very comfortable to wear. So
Nice.
that is
So I do see a question from chat, and I'll throw it to Nadar first, so you can have at least a question to answer.
Yeah.
Favorite Ayla / Millard moment so far? Which there's gonna be a few.
That-
There's a few there.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember one honestly because especially with school starting, my brain just has been just trying to retain information that I'm supposed to be knowing for classes, and it's pushing everything else out of the way.
All you
Don't
had to
worry
say
about it.
was school, and most of us like, yep,
Yep.
yep.
Especially with it being a theology school thing.
Remember, all of us here are old. We've been
Right.
We've
I'm
been
still
there.
gonna complain.
there. Yeah.
I'm gonna complain because I
I'm just-
decided to do this, and it's my
To
brain.
be fair, many of the moments are the same.
True. But
Yeah.
still hilarious.
Many of the moments are the same.
Meh, meh, meh. Meh, meh, meh. Meh, 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 meh. Meh, 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 meh.
For all of those in chat, Ayla and Millard in real life, as in me and Jay, we are siblings, so it plays well.
Someone else in chat, which I think we're gonna lose lava at any minute now. It is 10:03 though, and
Yeah.
you seem to still be there.
No, you said that.
And then did it go? Okay, well, let me make a.
What is the average flying speed of an unladen swallow?
Is that
What
an
do you
African
mean?
or a
Answer-
European
A
swallow?
European or an African swallow?
The correct answer is 14 kilometers per hour.
Right.
A laden swallow, on the other hand, can fly much faster if you shoot it out of a cannon.
Yeah.
Nice. Let me get this and there we go. Nice. So let's see. Let me catch up on. So I guess some of the same question to anyone else. So let's say Zao or Elworth or Mark. Do any of you have like a favorite Ayla / Millard moment that sticks out to you specifically?
I'd say that for me, I really liked the moment. I think it was episode 9, maybe, where Millard and Ayla were talking about talking with that giant.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the Millard said something about different things getting thrown. Sometimes you get thrown, sometimes a house gets thrown, sometimes a house with you inside of it gets thrown, and
Yep.
Ayla said, "How was I supposed to know that that was a slur in his language?"
Yep. That's a good one.
There's clips, guys. You can go and watch this on the clips. Just
Zao or Elbreth, what about you guys?
Mostly, I like it when Ayla's off doing something and Miller pops off at her and she's not around to defend herself. Like, there's one tonight when he was talking to Eastmark. He's like, or I forget who he's talking to. He's like, yeah, she's up there talking to somebody, probably getting in trouble. You better go grab her first.
Did I get in trouble? No, I did not get in trouble.
First
He
time for
doesn't know
everything.
that.
First time for everything.
Yeah. Elbreth, what about you?
I don't know. I'm not really can really remember things off the top of my head. So just whatever people say, I'm like, yep, that too.
That's not good.
That one. I like that one. I like that boulder. That is a
Like,
nice
Nice
boulder.
boulder.
The one about that Zyle mentioned, that Richard mentioned, that was actually to keep him away as long as possible from the three of you.
Yep.
Mark, Zyle, and Elbreth, so that they'd have more time to talk about the book.
I figured.
Yeah.
Which was just funny because she's like, oh, he's going to follow my sister. Well, that's not good. Let me go keep her from dying. Walked over.
Not die.
No,
'cause
but
at this point, I still don't trust Eastmark.
Sure.
So it's
Right.
going to be interesting next week when it's going to seem like everybody's okay with Eastmark and Millard is still not. Okay.
Well, like next week should be very interesting for this party because you have one party who's telling you this individual's the devil, and then now you're going to have the devil, but you guys didn't experience him as such. So, yeah, that's going to be an interesting test of where you guys sit on things.
I'm interested to see it because I'm interested to see how it affects the trust level, or if it's going to be like we've been set up. I was
So-
ready.
But so Ayla, this is in a sense Ayla's first time actually seeing him, though,
Yes.
because the first time she was just so out of it because of the
Mhm.
circumstances
I
that
think-
happened. So
I
she's
think
not
Ayla-
actually gonna recognize him. So she's gonna be a little confused.
I think Ayla actually did see him at the end of episode 1.
Well, she may like have
Yeah.
like seen him, but wasn't
Perceived,
she wasn't really very like cognitively aware.
right? Like she was in such distraught, she couldn't do
Process.
anything. Like
Well,
Zyle had to pick her up and carry her.
What caused Ayla to go out of it?
The-
Brother? Her brother just disappeared in front of her and
Yep.
was assumedly sent to the capital, which she then saw seemingly burn to the ground.
But
Yep.
did Ayla
Everyone she knows and loves.
Yeah.
Did
Right.
Ayla experience the mist?
She experienced everything in the sense that everyone else did, but she was like so
Just-
trapped in her mind at that point, thinking through a whole bunch of different things which we haven't fleshed out yet.
right.
Ayla, at the end of episode 1, Ayla called out something. I forget what. But she called out and Strahd answered.
Yeah. Well, I will say this. So when you're in that type of situation, especially for her, she doesn't remember any of it.
Mm.
The
Okay.
only thing she remembers from that incident is seeing her kingdom burn.
Right.
So anything after that, up until the point of meeting the children, is like that fighter. It's a
Yeah.
nerve response in the fact that she forgot all of it.
Right.
Does
So
she
she
remember-
doesn't remember interacting with
getting
Strahd. She
grabbed?
doesn't remember meeting Strahd. All she remembers is her castle burning, her stuck inside her head, and then meeting those children.
So there's no. That's what Millard was asking. So there's no in between. There's the
Yeah.
first memory she has of Barovia is meeting the kids.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, so that would be confusing
Figured-
for her too.
Yeah, I figured she would remember getting grabbed, but like by Zyle and just being moved.
Yeah.
And
That might have like started the like coming back out of her mind, but for the most part, I would think that she really, the way it was played from my memory of how it was played, was that she saw the children and it was just like she kind of like woke up and just took action because it was like that instinct of taking care of the kids because that's what she was used to, taking care of her 2 younger siblings. So even though she might have started coming to when he picked her up, she didn't like come to until the interaction with the kids.
Okay.
Outrider wants to know how do we know so much about swallows?
Well, I just
When-
did a bird
when-
study with my kids.
when you're a
so
king,
actually,
you-
I don't
when
think
you're-
Ornithology.
swallows in it. I don't think
It's
swallows
when
are in
you're
it.
a king, you know these things, yeah.
Yeah.
My sister, my
Just
sister
you know these things.
studies swallows for a living.
Interesting.
Wow.
Interesting.
Ornithological studies.
So
Very
we were
helpful.
Jay and I were part of a bluebird box group as kids. We had to go and check on
Yeah.
bird boxes
Tended bluebird boxes.
horror
every
music
once
starts.
in a while.
So
Birds.
we'll do last call for anyone in chat for any questions you have for the night. We're going to go ahead and do our roundabout on everyone's favorite moment of the night. As per usual, our lovely bearded Richard gets the joy of going first. So, Mr. Ricardo, what would you say was your favorite moment of the night?
Mark in dad mode, man.
Mark in dad mode.
That was
Okay.
fantastic.
Made me.
Your mic cut out there a little bit.
You made me cry.
Oh, my bad. My bad.
Thanks a lot.
My
Like as soon
bad.
as he's like, his wife walked in, holding the baby, holding the hand of like the toddler, and I'm just like, I'm a
They
mom,
gonna
y'all.
die.
It's like, especially like that like age, because it's like I had my daughter,
Yeah.
like at this, like it was about the time that my son started to be able to walk, so it's like I could really picture that in my head, and it's just like, no, please don't do this to me.
I mean,
Two-Bit just likes to make me cry. He likes to make me.
No.
He likes to hurt me.
no
so much.
physical harm was brought to the children.
I
Well,
mean,
at
I
least-
knew what was coming.
Not to our knowledge.
I mean, like tonight, like we did not harm any children, so at least we didn't go into that territory. Okay, so Elbreth, Miss Captain Bix, same question. What was your favorite moment of the night?
Same answer.
Mark in dad mode.
Yeah, I like
Okay.
that.
Okay, it's not a bad answer. Mark or Mr. Liam, same question.
I don't know. I'd have to rewatch. Yeah.
Okay. Mr. Millard / Jay, what was your favorite moment of the night?
Getting to just after the dream, getting to talk to Mark and being like,
Mhm.
"Hey, we're gonna get them back. They're not gone,"
Mm-hmm.
and just having that interaction because it's a little bit more serious.
Especially because that's you would be the one that probably had a little more information into that whole circumstance to
Yeah.
begin with.
I mean, I'd heard a less detailed version of
Right.
it before.
Right.
So,
Okay. Ayla / SJ, what was your favorite moment of the night?
I would say just the moment that I got to have with Arena. Just because it was in a sense, Ayla was able to be taken seriously in that moment. It was like it was able to be a serious conversation for her, I guess. And her talking without getting in trouble. So that's always a plus.
That was a nice first. Ayla didn't overly stick her foot in her mouth.
I tried really hard not to sound pretentious here. Really tried not to sound sassy. Like it kind of worked out, like the fact that Ayla had lost her own father.
Right.
And she was able to
common ground.
Have that common ground and say, it's like, I know how you feel, and I'll give you your space, but I know that if you want a presence, it's I can do that without talking. So
right.
I mean, I don't know how long that would last, but it was worth a try.
Yeah. Certainly not a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
Love it. Apparently someone in Q in chat says that the favorite moment was getting to hear me talk as an old lady.
Old lady.
Great.
That was number 3 for me, for sure.
What was number 2?
I know, this was
number 2 was Ayla actually calling Zyle out for his sarcasm. I know when you're being sarcastic. That was great.
Yeah,
just because he's so stoic all the time.
Right. That's true.
It was,
I'm kind of used to that. Like, I actually do that look a lot of that stop being dumb. Because like my husband, when we first started dating, we were out to dinner and he told me that he had this screaming eagle tattoo across his back. And he said it with the straightest of faces.
Yeah.
And it was just like, I know you're lying to me. And so from that point on, he tells a lot of people that he has a screaming eagle tattoo across his back with a very straight face. And I have to give that look a lot of, stop lying to these people.
These fine folk.
I can tell you my favorite moment of the night, which I'm almost surprised that someone else didn't say this, was quite easily just getting to hear Liam's pronunciation of
That's true. There's a lot of good humor there.
Easily my favorite moment of the night, which will wholeheartedly be a clip later. That was good.
Give me 5 minutes.
Yeah. Absolutely. Someone in chat says that they were depressed that Mark's friend was named Dak. That was a foreshadowing that made them sad. Yeah. There's a few different things of...
His full name is Daksha.
Yeah. Daksha. The nickname is Dak.
Hungarian horntail. Am I missing something? Oh, the cross his back. No, he doesn't have any tattoos. Let's be honest here.
Are all the names. All right, guys. Well, that is going to wrap it up for tonight. We thank all of you lovely individuals, whether you're on Twitch, on YouTube, or wherever the heck you're watching this. I don't know. That should be the only 2 places, but the internet's the internet. We thank you for watching. We are very appreciative of it. We have fun, and we hope that you do too, more importantly, and look forward to seeing all of your lovely faces and chat, next week as we continue on further into the depths of the Curse of Strahd campaign. But until next week, everyone say goodbye for now.
Goodbye for now.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Until next time.
Have a good day.
Thanks.